Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Happy Friday to everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody for taking time out of their busy schedules to rock and roll with us here at Knicks Now by Chat Sports as we break down the latest news and rumors that surround this basketball team. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to go through every single player that is expected to be in the New York Knicks rotation, and I'm going to tell you what my biggest concern for them is. Also, the New York Knicks still have their taxpayer mid-level exception, which means you can pay a player $5.2 million in the first year of their contract. And we're going to go through 5 or 6 players the Knicks could sign an NBA free agency. And then we're going to close today's show with a mailbag. But before we do, let's get the comment section rolling. Let's do it. We haven't done it in a while. Let's get a real one roll call. If you're a real one, drop a real one for me down in the comment section. We haven't been live on the channel in over a week. I miss my people. I miss hanging out with the girls and guys of Knicks Now. All of the real ones, already 150 people in the building. Every single person that types real one right now, I'm giving a shout out. Let's go. Walter Blackman says, thank you for the great podcast. Walter, thank you for the very kind words, my man. Shout out to Irina Long, real one. Naseem Khan, real one. Joey DeLuca, real one. Ruben Serrano, real one. Jorge Herrera, KBGBF. Eula in the building. What's up, Amir? Joey DeLuca, Carl, the OG. What's up, Gregory Williams? Knicks Galaxy, that's my guy right there. Shout out to Justin, Eric Silva, Brent Plays Madden, Dion Booker, Dennis Anaya, Noberto Davia. I think I said that right. Bleak One, Bobby Bands. That's a hell of a name, Bobby Bands. TIE Fighter Ninja, G5 Wee, Steve, John Musgrove. What's up, John? Rashid Aikens in the building. Lester Watson. All of the real ones are in the building. Shout out to y'all if you haven't yet. Please hit that thumbs up icon for me. 140 people watching, only 29 likes. The math ain't math, and those are rookie numbers. Get those numbers up. Like my guy Joey DeLuca, a definition of a real one right there. Joey, you're looking good as always, my man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for showing love. We appreciate every time we get to see your beautiful face in the building. My guy John Musgrove in the building. He says, Knicks pride. I miss doing Knicks watch parties, man. I cannot wait until the season starts. I am ready to watch this team play. I miss them. And we've got a new version of this team. We are really the Nova Knicks now. I want to see Mikal Bridges play. I want to see a healthy Julius Randle with OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson and the entire gang out there. I'm bleeding blue and orange, and I know John Musgrove, he does as well. The Sports Talk. What up, Pudge Boys? Pudgy Boys. I can't read. That's my guys right there. Says, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, Marsh, need your help with this, so I know I'm not crazy. Oh, where are we going? He says, I was debating with a fellow Knicks fan on why they still hate trading RJ for OG. I feel nuts. If people are trying to argue or make a case or tell you that the Knicks lost the trade with the Toronto Raptors for OG and Anunoby, just stop talking to them because they will never get it. They will never understand. There is not a single decision maker that is employed by an NBA team that would choose RJ Barrett over OG and Anunoby. There is not one. Were the Knicks going to pay Emmanuel Quickley $135, $150 million like he got? No, let's not. OG's better. The results are the proof. It's in the pudding, baby. The Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA. They went 15-2 immediately upon the arrival of OG and Anunoby. Yeah, look, I've learned in life you can't make everyone happy, and not everyone's going to agree with you. There's right, and then there's wrong. And if you think RJ Barrett is a player the Knicks should have kept instead of trading for OG and Anunoby, I don't have any other way to say it but this. You are wrong, and it's your fault. This is your fault. What movie? What movie? If you get it right, Give you a shout out in a second. But first, I got to tell you guys about our proud sponsor of today's show, Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app via the App Store. Logo looks like this. It's the #1 ticketing app in the game. And if you use the promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. I've used every single ticketing app out there, and there are none better than Game Time. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices drop as the events get closer. And if you're like me, who's a little bit of a procrastinator, you don't want to spend the money until you have to, or you don't have the money to spend until right up to the game, that's the perfect app to use. Is Game Time. You want to go to a Giants game this season, you could do it. You want to go to a Knicks game this season, you could do it. You want to go to a concert, you want to go to an MLB game. I got to go to the Home Run Derby because of Game Time. It was awesome. I got my ticket the day before. You get last-minute tickets and flash deals. The app will let you know when the tickets are on their best price. You get a view from the seat inside the app, and yeah, you get the lowest price guaranteed. So download the app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase where your terms do apply. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring the program, my favorite sponsor we got, because I actually do use Game Time, and I know when I do, I'm getting the best deal out there. Shout out to Norberto Davia. What's up, bro? Appreciate the love. I don't know if that's your dog. That's a hell of a cute dog right there. Well, they got a little bandana, a little Tupac bandana on the head. Shout out to Norberto. And they are a first-time Super Chatter. Shout out to Norberto, a first-time Super Chatter. We appreciate you. Thanks for showing love to the program. It goes a long, long way. Gregory Williams, my man. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for always stopping by. Sending a $2 super chat. That's mad love. Says Olympics basketball for the time being. My favorite game of the Olympics were when Joel Embiid did not play. Because I told everyone that if Joel Embiid is representing Team USA, I wouldn't watch. I have watched. I lied. But I did appreciate the fact that he did not play in the most recent game for Team USA. The biggest takeaway I have from the Olympics is I have two. One, it's a crime that Jalen Brunson's not on this roster. Even though he hurt his hand, he should be on the roster. And the other one is LeBron James is still the best player on that team. Like, it is insane that LeBron James is still the best player for Team USA, and he's like 64 and a half years old. It's incredible. As my guy Joey DeLuca says, Marsh, it's Step Brothers. I know my movie. This is your fault. Your fault. Joey DeLuca, that's why you're my guy. Greg, though, yeah, the Olympics have been a lot of fun to watch. France went down today. RJ's been playing pretty good for Team Canada. But, yeah, man, KD and LeBron still getting it done for Team USA in the year of 2024. Pretty damn crazy. My guy Kenya in the building. Big dog. No little dog. Says, what up, Knicks Nation? What's up, Marsh? Kenya, my guy, how you doing, bro? The fit, the swag, the aura, as the kids are saying these days, it's crazy. It's crazy. Kenya, that's my guy right there. I appreciate you always showing love to the channel. How are we feeling about the season? Are we ready? Are we ready for the season? Shout out to producer Reed in the building as well. Getting it done on the ones and twos. It's Friday, baby.
I'm ready.
It's Friday.
Trying to have some fun.
Friday happy hour here on New York Knicks Now. I'm ready to have a good one. We got a fun show in tune. I was getting ready for the show. I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about on today's show. And then a switch flipped in my head. I think we got some pretty good content coming up for all of the real ones out there. Shout out to y'all, 140 people in the building. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. The win total for the New York Knicks has officially been set this year at 51.5 wins. The New York Knicks, they won 50 games last year. What are they going to do this year? New roster, no Hartenstein, hopefully a healthy Julius Randle. You add Mikal Bridges, you bring back OG Anunoby. You're not going to get any RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes this year. Over or under 51.5 wins. I'm giving shout-outs to everybody in the building. My guy, John Pettit. What's up, brother? John Pettit in the building. What's up,
Joey DeLuca?
He says, I'm ready for the season. I'm ready. We're all ready. I'm pumped up. A Fire City edition. I am curious what the Knicks are going to do for their jerseys this year. Maybe they rock something new. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm kind of over the Navy ones that they wore the last 2 years, but I didn't hate them. I just want some a little bit new. This new era of the New York Knicks, the Nova Knicks, they deserve their own threads. They do. I haven't seen one under in the chat for 51.5 wins for the Knicks this year. And that could mean one of two things. That's really good or that's really bad, because usually when everybody's all in on something, you're either right or you're extremely wrong. I would go over 2, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to put a bag on over 51.5 wins. I put a bag over 46.5 wins last year. I told you that was the lock of the century. It did lock. I'm not going to say this is the lock of the century because 51.5 wins is a lot, but I do think they will get there. Rashidi Aiken says, Yosturvin, please discuss him. A lot of people have been asking me about Omer Yosturvin, and I'm just going to say this. There's a reason he was cut. He's solid for a third-string center. I think Jericho Sims is better. Like, after watching the tape today, I think Jericho Sims is better. Look, if you want to go out and sign Omer Yosturvin for the veteran minimum, sure, we could do that. You want to go out and give him the taxpayer mid-level exception, see if he could take that, and see if, well, he would take that because obviously he's not getting that money from anybody else. You sign him to that, and then maybe you trade him down the line. I'm not thirsty for Omer Yosturvin. Maybe I need to see what you guys are seeing, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. So help me out. What am I missing? What am I missing? Because multiple people have asked me about him. And I don't see it. I don't see it. What I do see is my guy, Mr. Smokin' 43, showing love to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. 43, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for always being one. If you have a comment, you have a thought, you have a take, you want to say something, drop it in the comment section, and we'll chop it up, and we'll go back and forth. John Pettit says, we going to rock with Chewy and maybe in December, see who's available. Exactly. That's what's going to happen. Achiuwa and Jericho Sims will be your backup centers until December 15th when you can trade free agents that you signed. And then once the trade season opens up, we know Leon Rose is going to be working the phone trying to get it done. Mr. Smokin' says, Marshall, what's up? What's up with you, my guy? What's up, man? Appreciate you supporting the show, bro. Appreciate you supporting the show. Shout out to everybody that already super chatted today. 192 people in the building. 69 likes. As much as I would like to stay at that number for obvious reasons, smash that like button. Let's get up to 100. Reed, it's Friday, and the other NBA teams here at Chat Sports, they've been talking some noise. They're trying to tell us that Knicks Now has fallen off. They're trying to say, because Celtics today went live this week. Philadelphia 76ers now went live this week. And these were their super chat numbers from their live show. Sixers had a big summer. I'm not going to lie to you. Still number 2 at Chat Sports behind number 1, as you know. But, Reed, they think that they can catch the big dogs.
And they think we're not about to get active. Right
Do
now.
they think that we're just going to roll over and let this happen? I know the people that watch this show. And there's some prideful MFers, just like I am. I hate to lose more than I love to win. And I can promise you this much. This ain't happening. I will not walk out of the studio today. If it takes a week, if it takes a month, if it takes a year, I am not walking out of the studio until we pass Philadelphia 76ers now on today's show. And once we do, I'm doing a beer boot. I'm doing a beer boot on today's show. Maybe producer Reed will get in a race with me.
If we beat them, bro, it's a race. It's a race.
It's a race. We'll do a beer boot race. But I'm telling you right now, I am not leaving the studio today until Philadelphia 76ers now is no longer the top dog for the number 1 Super Chat channel at Chat Sports this week. as we got Peter Wynn coming in with a $20 super chat. We appreciate you, man. It says, hello, Marshall, Reed, and all of the real ones. That's my guy right there. Peter, how's the summer been for you, brother? Peter's always showing up, going on, I believe, year three of support Knicks Now by Chat Sports. He's a real one. That's my guy. I missed the picture of his profile being the one in the real one shirt, but I'll digress. Peter, I hope you're having a good summer, my man. I just can't wait for the season to start. I really, really can't. I cannot. Tails Drip Club. I thought that said some other type of club. The Drip Club. He says, Clint Capella, are we trading Mitchell Robinson for Clint Capella? Because I am not. I'm not trading Mitchell Robinson for Clint Capella. One's 30, one's 26 or 27, however old Mitchell Robinson is. One makes $20 million, one makes $14 million. I'm not trading Mitchell Robinson for Clint Capella. And that's really the only way that you get to that $20 million if you are trying to make that happen. We'll do a mailbag coming up in a little bit. We could talk about that. But what I want to spend some time talking about right now is Julius Randle. Tomorrow, or is today the 2nd? Yeah, tomorrow, Julius Randle can sign a contract extension of 4 years, $181.5 million to stay with the Knicks. Should the Knicks offer Julius Randle 4 years, $181.5 million tomorrow? What do you think? Should the Knicks offer Julius Randle 4 years and $181.5 million? I want to hear from you in the comment section. Type E for extend. Type P for pass. We've been covering this story pretty damn closely here on this channel. Ian Begley of SNY, who I trust just as much as anyone else that covers the Knicks. I think he's one of the best in the business. He makes it seem like both sides are far apart. He has reported that the extension is not on the forefront for the Knicks or for Julius Randle. 4 for 81.5. Should the Knicks offer him that? I got a P from Nassim. Colby says extend. Deb Johnnie says, so we're getting some extends. We're getting some passes. I would offer Randle 4 for 181.5. I would. I think that's a fair number. That's a lot of money, though. And I could see why the New York Knicks are not willing to give Julius Randle a contract extension because he's 30 and he's coming off 2 major injuries, and they want to see him go through a full healthy season before they sign up for another 4 years of almost $200 million. Charles makes a good point. If he balls out, he'll want $300 million as a free agent. 100% the case.
And on the other side, if he does terrible, his value's gone.
Value's gone. What happens if he gets hurt again?
Exactly, yeah.
Like if Randle gets hurt for the 3rd year in a row, he ain't sniffing this type of money.
30.
He's 30. It would be 3 injuries in a row. What if he struggles again in the playoffs? Like, there's so many different outcomes. Randle plays great. Balls out in the playoffs. He's going to want more money than this. Randle gets hurt again or plays bad in the playoffs. He may not get this type of money. And I am sure that he is wondering if he should do that or what he should do. If I was Julius Randle, I would probably take the money. Because you know what? There's a lot of risk in passing up $181.5 million. As we got another first-time super chatter. Shout out to Steve. He says, hello, Marshall. I love Chat Sports. Steve, we love you, man. We love you.
Shout out, Steve.
Shout out, Steve. Steve the Pirate? Is this Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball? I don't know. What I do know is we got a 3-point goal. John Pettit. Bang! Bang! John Pettit from half court. Bang! $100 super chat. I need all 210 people right now to drop a JP for me in the chat. There is a reason that John Pettit is a member of the New York Knicks Now Ring of Honor. He supported the show all season long. And this tells me that the season is right around the corner. John frickin' Pettit.
Come on, baby.
That's my guy right there. He says, F Boston, we're coming for you this year. Now let's all get behind our Knicks this year. All positive, all year. Let's go Knicks! Shout out to John Pettit, a legend here on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. Let's go. I need everyone in the chat to type a JP. I'm getting a shotgun going. I need some juice. It's Friday. Logan Maz, why do you watch this show? I'm going to be honest. Like, all you do is complain, brother. All you do is complain. I'm not that good looking. You shouldn't want to stare at the peak this much. So why do you just tune in to complain? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Are you that bored? Does your life stink that much? All you do is come in and complain and complain and complain. If you ain't got it, you ain't got to hate. Shout out to John Pettit. That's my guy right there. The definition of a real one. Pettit, my question to you is this. Can the Knicks, John Pettit, win a title with Julius Randle? I want to hear from you in the chat right now, John Pettit, because you are a lot more level-headed than me. You know me. I'm emotional. I wear my chip on my shoulder. And all I always say, if regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs, do you want to go grab me a little fruit punch? Not cold. No cold. Yeah, I already got this tool, so I'll grab this. We can race. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's race. If regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs, the Knicks will win the NBA championship. It's not they can. If 25, 10, and 5, 45, and 35 Randle shows up in the playoffs, that team wins the NBA title. I don't know if that can happen, to be honest with you. I want it to happen. I'm rooting for that to happen. But I don't need to touch the stove to know it's hot. He fooled me once against Atlanta. Bad teammates, I get it. He was hurt against Cleveland, didn't play good. I get it. He was hurt against Miami, played a little bit better. Maybe the fourth time's the charm. I don't know. John says, yes, I think Randle really turned the corner last year, knowing to play within the system. He did play better when OG Anunoby got traded here. We've shown those stats on screen before. His field goal percentage went up. His three-point percentage went up. His points per game went up. His assists per game went up. My man. Logan, it's all good, bro, but, like, the thing about our chat is if you're going to come here and talk shit, we're talking shit right back. Never scared. That's one thing that we are not here. We are not scared. We put too much pride in this channel. Too many people that watch this show put too much pride in this channel, let you come here and talk shit about it. So if you do, you're going to get talk shit back. If you want to be a part of the family, my arms are open and I'll hug you like a brother. I'd hug you like a brother. Ice cold. Ice cold. F it.
But no.
Oh.
No, that's the sip on.
Oh, we're sipping, baby.
We're sipping, baby.
We're sipping.
We just beat Celtics from today.
We already beat the Celtics channel?
We're coming up on Sixers.
I need everyone to type F Boston in the channel. In the chat. Everyone watching right now, Creed, you are out of pocket. Oh, my God. Creed, you are a clown. All righty, let's knock down the first race. I think we're $25 away from a beer boot race. Ty Johnson says, stop playing with Randle. He's a really good player.
We're not saying he's a bad player.
We're not. We're just saying he needs to play like he does in the regular season in the playoffs because that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Cheers, brother. Oh. You got it? You need help?
Nope.
Let's roll. Careful there. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. My man Creed in the building. Frankie in the building. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. We got a loaded show coming up. We're going to be talking about Loaded. I'm loaded. But we got a loaded show. We got real content. I never do real content on this show. We literally put out multiple videos every single day. I told you in April, nobody would put out more content than we did in the summer. And I think if you check the numbers are going to be checked. Alex Booth says Marsh going to get drunk by the end of the stream. I'm immune to alcohol. We don't get drunk. We don't get drunk. Have a couple of super chats that come. Kemble says I'm loaded. 66 Kemble. That's my guy right there. That's my guy. That's my guy right there. Shout out to all 215 people in the building. If you haven't yet, please, 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 please hit that thumbs up icon. And if you have liked the video, type me in the chat. I love doing segments like the one we're about to do. They're my favorite videos to do. They are. So I'm pumped up with that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. My biggest concern for every single player inside the New York Knicks rotation. That's coming up in a second. Then I've got 6 players the New York Knicks can sign with their taxpayer mid-level exception. Then we're going to get to a mailbag in a little bit. As we got no switch in the building, a first time super chatter. Shout out to No Switch. Patrick Surtain, a little PS2, huh? He says, first time chat, let's effing go. My man says, I follow a Knicks fan page that offered Deuce, Precious, and a potential pick for Zubac. Would I do this trade? Man, that's a really good question.
I was just about to say, that's a fantastic question.
I think Zubac is a starting center on a title team. I'm a big fan of him. People actually say I look like Zubac, so I've got love for him. A for accept, D for decline. Let me know in the chat. A for accept, D for decline. I don't.
Precious and a potential pick.
I don't love giving up Deuce.
Pick is, though.
Yeah, like a potential pick is in a first rounder. I'm assuming you mean a first round pick.
Yeah,
I'm with Brent. He says, without the pick, I would.
If I'm giving up Deuce McBride, I'm not giving up a first round pick. If it's a first round pick, I'm probably saying no. It's a really good trade, and I'm a big fan of Zubac. Creed says accept that. I think I would. I think I would do it. He says a second was offered. I think I would do that.
yeah.
I think I would do that. And then your center rotation is Mitchell Robinson and Zubac. And then your bench is, let's just say Zubac starts. Then your bench is Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. That's pretty damn good. And then maybe Tyler Kolek as the season progresses. Still got Keita Bates-Diop. Still got Chuma Okeke if you want to keep him. I'm going to say yes if it's not a first-round pick. Yes if no first-round pick. Greg Williams back again. My man, he says, I can say Knicks Now got me through the times when cable let me down. That's love right there, man. That's love. We're going to be here. We did 85 Knicks games last year, or 95, something like that. We've done almost 200 Knicks Now watch parties over the last 2 years. Kind of crazy. That's because of y'all, man. Y'all tune in. Y'all show love. I'll be here. And we're going to be doing big this year. It's going to be the biggest year yet on Knicks Now. Greg Williams, you are a real one, my brother. Creed, with the most out-of-pocket comment today, says, I'm a poor Oh, my God. That was Josh Hart. When Jalen Brunson signed the contract, that's what Josh Hart said. I do Frankie Gonzalez. You got to be really careful about saying that, brother. You got to be careful about saying that. Look, and I'm not trying to disrespect Deuce. You guys know I love Deuce McBride. He just can't. He's just not a point guard. And if I can take a guy that's going to be my third-string shooting guard and turn that into a starting center with Precious, I think you got to do the deal. Thing is, I don't know. I'll hold that shot.
I'm a shooting guard. I can't dribble the ball.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
You get buckets.
I get buckets, though.
He gets buckets. Brent plays mad in a $20 super chat. What Creed said. And let's go Knicks. Brent plays Madden. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. Joel King says Precious. Thank you for the love, Joel. Says Precious and Sims ball out this year. Are they gone? Yeah, because if Precious Achiuwa balls out, he's going to get some money in free agency, and Sims will probably get some money. I'm sure the Knicks will make it a priority to try to bring them back if they play well, but the facts are the facts of an NBA season and an NBA team and a franchise. You can't keep everybody. You just can't. You can't pay everybody. We unfortunately weren't able to pay Isaiah Hartenstein. And maybe if Precious Achiuwa balls out, like that's a good problem to have on your hands 10 months from now. It's like, oh, shit, Precious played so well. We won an NBA championship. Teams think he's really damn good now, and you can't afford him. Yeah, I would say, like, one of these guys, one of these two players will be back, though, most likely next year. That would be my take on that right now. Vinkata Mangamuri. VM, how about that? VM, what up, bro? Says Powell, PJ Tucker, Norm Powell, and PJ Tucker for Julius Randle. No! Why the hell are we trading Julius Randle for Norman Powell? Norman Powell? Is there a different Powell out there?
I wouldn't even do that if, like adding Deuce, too.
Yeah, and
I
Deuce?
wouldn't even do that with Randle only.
Yeah. I think some people forget that Julius Randle's a 2-time All-NBA player and a 3-time All-Star in the last 3 years.
Just because he doesn't play defense doesn't mean he's not an elite player.
Yeah, and
if he gets his defense up, it's a different story. But
got to show up in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Got to show up in the playoffs. I
But
do
you know
want to
what
claim
that did
victory.
do?
We're claiming victory. As we have already passed 76ers now in Boston Celtics today. Shout to everybody in the building. Shout to everybody that showed love. The boys from Philly over at Sixers Now, they were talking some noise saying that they were the new go-to channel here at Chat Sports for NBA coverage. We had to let them know who the little dogs were. We are going to do a beer boot race since we beat them at the end of the show. At the end of the show, I will do a beer boot, Reed will do a beer boot, and we will race. But let's dive into the show. We've already been live for 34 minutes. Shout out to everybody watching. 210 people here. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. We got 111 likes, 209 watching. Why has everybody that's not tuned in liked the video? Logan liked the video. He's already liking the show after we called him out for being a hater. Logan says, for real? What do you mean for real? For real. VK says Zubac and Powell, maybe Bones for Randle and Deuce. I'm not trading Julius Randle unless I get a player that's just as good as him or I get a player that's a better fit. And Zubac and Powell and Bones Highland, no. I'm not doing that. I appreciate the super chat. Good idea. Am I trading Julius Randle for Brook Lopez? Hell no. Logan says, is this real Towns for Randle talk? I mean, guys, I've been trying to tell you for months it's been talked about. Like, I've told you for months that's being talked about. But everyone just calls me a Julius Randle hater, so. There's a reason that Karl Anthony Towns' name keeps getting brought up. There's a reason it doesn't sound like the Knicks are going to extend Julius Randle. Yeah, Tyler John, that's fake news, brother. That's fake news. No fake news in the chat. No fake news in the chat, or you're blocked. Or you're blocked. But let's dive into it. First segment. We got 3 segments. If you want to get your questions featured on the mailbag later, drop a comment and use hashtag Knicks. Comment and hashtag Knicks. Carl says, I hear that Jonas Valanciunas might be a trade option. I saw that today. Maybe. But it can't happen until December 15th because Valanciunas was signed in free agency. So it'd be a little while. All righty, let's dive into it. Yes, sir. Coming up on today's show, we're going to go through every single player that is expected to be in the rotation for the New York Knicks this season, and I'm going to give you my biggest concern for them and what they need to do to help the New York Knicks be NBA champions for the first time in over 50 years. But if you want the Knicks to be NBA champions, if you want them to hold up the Larry O.B. and have another rafter put in the roof at Madison Square Garden, hit that thumbs up icon. I've been told the more likes we get on this video, the more likely it is the Knicks win the chip. So don't jinx it. Hit that like button. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it, and let's start with the captain, number 11, the lefty, the closer, in the face of New York Knicks basketball, Jalen Brunson. My number 1 concern for him, I don't really have many concerns, if at all, and I had to think about this for a while, and maybe I'm just being nitpicky here, but you know what? That's what you got to do on this show sometimes. Can Jalen Brunson legitimately be a 1A? Can he be the best player on a team that is world champions? Let's talk about it. What he's done since becoming a member of the New York Knicks is higher than just about everybody's expectations. And he's gotten better. Like when he came to the Knicks and he came to the Mavericks, he was already really good. And we told you that. Then he took his game to another level this past year, averaging almost 29 points per game, 7 dimes on 47.9% from the field, and 40% from 3. I firmly think that Jalen Brunson is the 3rd best point guard in the NBA. I'll say Luka Doncic is the best, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander number 2, and then Jalen Brunson right there. What JB did in the playoffs this past year showed me that he can truly be the best player on a team that's going to win a championship. What he did against the Philadelphia 76ers was unbelievable. Multiple 40-point games, and time again, he put the Knicks on his back and said, yo, come with me. I'm going to go get a dub for us. 36 a night and 9 assists is insane. And he played really good against the Pacers, too. Production fell off a little bit. Field goal percentage was better. 3-point percentage was better. But the points per game were not nearly as high at 29.7 compared to 35.5. One thing, though, that I think would help Jalen Brunson become that legit 1A option, that legit go-to guy, which he already is, I'm saying for the Knicks to win an NBA title, Jalen Brunson has to shoot better than 31.7% from the playoffs. In his career as a Knick in the playoffs, 2023 and 2024, he's shooting just 31.7% from the field compared to his career as a Knick in the regular season. He is shooting 41.7% from deep. I don't expect or think it's really even possible for, I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to doubt this dude ever. But I'll tell you this much. If this percentage is replicated in the playoffs, yeah, the Knicks can win the championship and he could be the finals MVP. The only thing I really want to see him do is become more of a three-point threat in the playoffs, because we know that in the playoffs, teams like to pack the paint. They're going to make Jalen Brunson hit jump shots, which he could do, but he's better than a 31% playoff three-point shooter. From Brunson to Randle, I think everybody should have these concerns as a New York Knicks fan. You can be a Knicks fan and root for Randle while also acknowledging the facts that he has legitimately been one of the worst playoff performers of all time. So my 2 concerns for him. 1, can he stay healthy? Because he's had his last 2 years pretty much ended by injuries. and playoff production? Can regular season Randle show up in the playoffs? Because if the guy over the last 4 seasons that's averaging 24 points per game with 10 rebounds and 5 assists on 45% from the field and 35% from 3, if that guy shows up in the playoffs, the New York Knicks will be NBA champions. They absolutely will. Because if you have Brunson playing like Jalen Brunson he does in the playoffs, and if you have regular season Randle show up in May, June, that team is going to win the title. It hasn't happened yet for Julius, though. You look at his playoff career stats, and they are what they are. They are really bad. And you can make every reason, every excuse for Randle. Against the Hawks, he was playing with Reggie Bullock, Nerlens Noel, and Elfrid Payton. So I get it. Against the Cavs, he was a week removed from a nasty ankle injury. And then against the Heat, he was injured again. But, man, in 15 career playoff games, the guy's averaging 17 points per game and 9 rebounds. That's awesome. But he's also averaging more turnovers than assists, and he's shooting 34.4% from the field. Listen to this. Since 1970, players who average more than 16 field goals a game in the playoffs all have shot above 40%, except for Julius Randle at 34.4%. I want to see him do it because I know if regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs, we're going to be champs. But it's hard to look past what he has not got done in the playoffs. He is legitimately, factually, by volume, the worst playoff performer of all time. And he's better than that. And he knows that. And I thought he would have got it right last year, but the injuries got in the way. I'm hoping and praying, and I think that he can get it right with this team. My question to you before we roll on in today's show. Can the Knicks win it all with Julius Randle on this team? If Julius Randle is your starting power forward, can you win the NBA Finals? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about Mikal Bridges, the newest member of the New York Knicks. My biggest concern for him heading into the 2024 season is what Mikal Bridges are the New York Knicks getting? Are they getting the Mikal Bridges that played for the Brooklyn Nets last year? Are they getting the Mikal Bridges that we saw when he was traded from the Suns to the Nets? Or are we getting the Bridges that was one of the best role players in the NBA, top defenders in the league, elite catch-and-shoot player with the Phoenix Suns? Which guy are we getting? You look at what he did last year, and I don't blame him for not being able to be the 1A option for the Brooklyn Nets. That roster stinks, and it's a lot to ask Bridges to be that guy. I actually don't think that his best role is to be the number 1 scoring option. He can get it done. He did it pretty well last year, averaging 20 points per game on 44% from the deck and 37% from 3. But I don't want ISO Bridges. I don't want shot-chucking Bridges. I want the guy that's going to shoot close to 43% from 3 and be considered in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. In 2021-2022, for the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges averaged 14 points per game, shot 53% from the field, and 37% from 3. Also in that year, he finished second in Defensive Player of the Year. If the Knicks can get the guy that in 2022-2023 for Phoenix was an elite defensive player, averaged 17 and 46 on 39 splits, the Knicks are going to be awesome. But you know what? I actually believe that we are going to see the best version of Mikal Bridges yet because he's joining the Knicks and he's got his college point guard and his college best friends in Hart and DiVincenzo and Brunson on the squad. And we've seen multiple players come to the Knicks since Tom Thibodeau took over as the head coach and take their game to new level. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, as well as Isaiah Hartenstein all became much better players when they joined this team. And I expect the same to happen for Mikal Bridges. When it comes to OG Anunoby, my biggest concern is pretty obvious. Can he be healthy for an entire season? Can we play deep into May? Can we play deep into June and Anunoby is ready to rock and roll and contribute to this team? Because if OG's not healthy, you're not going to win. He's that impactful. He is that good. There is a reason the Knicks were the best team in the NBA in the regular season when OG Anunoby played. And he just hasn't, unfortunately, done that enough. You look at games played by year for Anunoby. Rookie year, played 74 games. Awesome. Second year, played 67 games. Awesome. In 2019-2020, he played 69 of the 72 games. Would love that. Then the injuries started to pile up. Played in just 43 of 72 games, in 2021. Just 48 games of 82 in 2022. 67 of 82 in 2023. I'll take that. This past year, he played in just 50. He has a career average of 59.7 games played. Simply, just not good enough. Like, OG has to be healthy for the playoffs. Yes, the addition of Mikal Bridges kind of gives you some OG Anunoby insurance, as you still do have Josh Hart. But, man, he is too good and he's too impactful for him not to play. We saw immediately the difference he made when he played against the Pacers and when he did not. He was awesome in the playoffs for the New York Knicks, averaging 15.1 points per game, giving you 6 boards per game, a steal and a block per night. And it was the offense. It was the production that I was impressed by, shooting north of 50% from the field and 41% from downtown. If you take out Game 7 versus Indy, when he literally played just the first 2 minutes, Anunoby actually averaged 16.4 points per game in the playoffs. And when Brunson went down early in that Indy series, when he ended up coming back later in the second half, the Knicks played their offense through Anunoby. We saw him get to the rack. We saw him hit that step-back jumper. We saw him kind of be an engine to the offense for the New York Knicks. I think that he is just scratching the surface of the player he can be, but it does not matter if he's not healthy. So if you only want to have to play him 25 minutes a night, whatever you have to do to make sure he's ready to go for the playoffs, just frickin' do it. Mitchell Robinson, like Anunoby, can he stay healthy? Like, we talked about Randle's health. We talked about Anunoby's health. And now we're talking about Mitchell Robinson's health. But another thing that I'm worried about with Robinson is the offensive growth. Can he grow at all on offense? You look at Robinson's games played in his NBA career, and just one time in the last 4 seasons has he played more than 59 games. And the best way to predict the future is to look at the past. And I am absolutely worried about him being able to stay healthy and be ready to roll in the playoffs. I am worried about that. What I'm not worried about is his ability to affect the game and produce when he is healthy, because he was looking like the defensive player of the year prior to hurting his ankle in December this past year. You look at the 21 games that he played prior to that injury. He was awesome, giving you 10-plus rebounds a night, giving you 5.2 offensive rebounds, and over 1.3 steals, or 1.5 steals and 1.3 blocks per game. He was awesome. But then the injury came. Then he came back and the injury came again. I'm worried if he can put together an 80-game regular season. I'm also worried that it seems like his offense and free throw percentages are getting worse every single year. How does that happen? In his 6-year career, his free throw percentage has gone down every single year, from 60 to 56 to 49 to 48.5 to 48 to 41. And the field goal, all the dude does is throw down dunks and putbacks around the rim, and his field goal percentage went down to 57.5 this year. He needs to be able to contribute outside of dunking the basketball. And if all you could do is dunk the ball, you got to be way better than 57.5%. So injuries and the ability to grow at all on offense is what I'm focused on for Mitchell Robinson. That's the starters. For the bench and Donte DiVincenzo, I'm worried about a reduced role for him, because he's going from being in the starting lineup, having the best year of his NBA career, playing north of 35 minutes per night, to now being a 6-man and maybe seeing his minutes go from 35, 40 to 20 to 25. And we saw that when DiVincenzo came off the bench for the New York Knicks, he didn't really play as well as he did when he was a starter for this team. You look at the difference in the stats for the guy. In the 18 games that he came off the bench for the New York Knicks, he played 19.6 minutes per game. And he got off to a slow start. He was averaging 7.9 points per game, on 38% from the deck and 38.7% from three. Then he got put in that starting lineup. His minutes go from 19 to 32, and his points go up by 10. His rebounds double. His assists double. The field goal percentage goes up to 45, and he becomes one of the best three-point shooters in the league. So can DiVincenzo carry the same impact while his minutes go down? That's what I'm looking at from the big Ragu. For Josh Hart, gotta have Hart. It's three-point shooting. Like, I love Josh Hart. You guys know that if you watch this show. I think he is one of the best role players in the NBA. He is a star in his role. But man, oh man, the three-point shooting, it has to improve. What he did from three last year was laughable. You can't shoot 31% from three in the regular season, Josh Hart. He knows that. He's supposedly working on that this offseason. And what we saw was him become a confident, knockdown, three-point shooter in the playoffs. 37.3% from there. I don't even need Josh Hart to shoot 37.3% in the regular season. Just be league average. Shoot 34, shoot 35%. It's so important because listen to this. And I know this is crazy, but the Knicks were 20-7 when Josh Hart shot 50% plus in a game from three. 27 times this year, Josh Hart shot 50% or better from three in a game. They were 20-7. Even crazier, when Josh Hart just made 1 3. When he put the ball in the basket from deep one time this past year, the Knicks were 30-18. They were 30-18 when Josh Hart made 1 3. So please, Josh Hart, work on that three-point shot this summer. Because if you can increase to be a league average shooter, I don't know how the New York Knicks aren't the best team in the NBA. We've got more players to talk about in a second, but first, I got to give a major shout-out to today's sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app, use the promo code ChatSports, and the #1 ticketing app in the game will hook you up with $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. I think everybody is cool with always getting the lowest price guarantee, and you do that with Game Time. You get last-minute tickets and flash deals. The app will let you know when the best price is going on. You get a view from the seat inside the app, and yeah, lowest price guaranteed. You want to go to a Knicks game this year, do it with Game Time. You got to go to a Yankees game or a Mets game before the summer ends, do it with Game Time. If you want to go to a Giants game this year, do it with Game Time. Concert, theater events, and so much more. Shout out to Game Time. I was able to go to the Home Run Derby. I went to the Grateful Dead concert last year. I went to a Mavericks-Knicks game this year with Game Time. I've used all the ticketing apps. None of them come close to Game Time. So download the app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Let's talk about Deuce McBride. Does Deuce kind of get squeezed out of the rotation? And can he stay hot from three? I know we talk about one concern, but here's a couple for him. You look at the New York Knicks roster for this upcoming year, right? And I just kind of wonder how much burn is he actually going to get? Because you know Brunson's going to play 35 minutes. Bridges probably plays close to 35. Maybe they try to keep OG and Anunoby at 30, and Randle at about 30, and Robinson at about 28. DiVincenzo is going to be the first guard off the bench. I want him playing 25 minutes. I want Josh Hart playing 25 minutes. And I want Precious Achiuwa, if Robinson's going to play 28, to play close to 20. So you only get 96 minutes at the point guard and the two guard. And if Brunson and Bridges are combining for 35 each, that's 75. You only got 26 minutes left. And we want DiVincenzo to play 25. I just don't know how much tick there actually is going to be for Deuce. He deserves to play, and he deserves to be a part of this rotation. I just don't know where the minutes are going to come, and I don't know if it's going to be enough minutes for him to really show that he can make an impact on this team. He was awesome, though, this past year for the New York Knicks, and you see the growth going from 25% from three to 29.9% from three to 41% from three. Can he continue to be on the up and on the rise as a shooter? He even was good in the playoffs for the New York Knicks, knocking down 36.8% of his threes. The dude's a fantastic player. He can guard multiple positions on defense. He's a consistent outside shooter, at least he was last year. But can he stay consistent? And honestly, for him to play minutes, he's got to play point guard. And can he do that? I don't necessarily think that he's a point guard. Doesn't mean I don't think he's a good player. I think he is a good player. He's an elite defender. He locked down Steph Curry, did the best job on Tyrese Maxey, and he shoots 37, 38, 39, 40% from three. That guy should be playing. But he's not a point guard. And the Knicks need a backup point guard. So they went out and signed campaigns. Well, they went out and drafted Tyler Kolek. I just don't know necessarily where the minutes are coming exactly for Deuce McBride. For Precious Achiuwa, can he be the New York Knicks backup five? At 6'8", can Precious Achiuwa for 82 games be that guy? Because he's kind of going to have to be. Because I don't necessarily want to rely on Jericho Sims to be the backup five. Like, I appreciate what Precious brings. I actually think he's a really good player, and I do think he is underrated. And we'll show you some stats that kind of back that up and echo my thoughts. But at 6'8", 230, that's a tough ask for him to consistently play that backup five position. You look at what he's done in the last 4 years of his NBA career, and he's been pretty consistent in what he's going to give you. He's going to give you close to 8-9 points per game, 6 rebounds. Last year he averaged almost a block per night, and he's going to knock it in from the field at about 50%. When he came to the New York Knicks, though, I didn't really know what to expect from him. I thought he was kind of just going to be a throw-in in that trade, but I was quickly proved wrong. And what took me back was how effective he was able to be when he actually had to be thrusted into the starting lineup because of injuries. Precious Achiuwa was one of only 3 players in the NBA to tally 100-plus rebounds, 30-plus blocks, and 20-plus steals in this 18-game stretch. The other 2, Victor Wembanyama and Anthony Davis. He was awesome for the New York Knicks in that stretch. He really, really was. And I believe that he's going to be able to contribute in the similar way this year. But he was starting those games at the power forward spot. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do that at the size that he is at the 5. I do like the versatility he brings. You could play some small ball 5 with him. I expect that to happen. And I actually like a lineup of him at the 5 and OG and an OB at the 4. So just a little bit worried if he will continue to do that and have that success as a backup 5. For Tyler Kolek, my biggest concern is he ready to contribute on an NBA roster? I actually do think that he is, because I think his game and what he does, 1, is a need for the New York Knicks, and 2, the things he does will translate. We got to see what he did in Summer League, and I was honestly thrilled with the production that he had. Do I wish that he would have been able to be a little bit higher of a efficient guy? Like, was he going to be able to be a little bit more efficient? Yeah, I would like to see him shoot better than 36% from the field and 31.6% from downtown. But, man, 7 assists to 1.4 turnovers. All we need is 10 minutes a game, 13 minutes a game from Kolek to come off the bench, run the offense, get the ball to your playmakers, and keep a control of the pace of play and make others around you better. And every level of basketball that Tyler Kolek has played at, he has done that. And he's going to be better around NBA talent because he could drive and kick. He could spray the ball around. He's going to be passing actually to legit NBA shooters besides just Dwayne Washington in the Summer League. The question that I have, though, is will Tom Thibodeau play the kid? We've seen Tom Thibodeau kind of be reluctant to give rookies kind of an early start in their NBA career. We did see him come along, though, with Jericho and Deuce and Grimes. But we've also seen him kind of just like hold a guy like Obi Toppin out of the rotation almost entirely in his rookie year. I think he should be the backup point guard. But the Knicks did also go out and give Campaign a contract. And he's a veteran. And he's done it in the playoffs. He's been a big part of a team like the Phoenix Suns that got to the NBA Finals. So my question to you is this. If you had to choose a backup point guard today, who would it be? Is it the Rook or is it the vet? Let me know your thoughts, and make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Same handle over on Instagram as well. So hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks. Dope. My man Mike G in the building. What's up, bro? John Pettit says no defense, no play with Tibbs. Campaign. It's not like Campaign, though, is like an elite defender either, you know? I saw, yeah.
So I was like, so we're just going to go game time with that, and I'm going to switch it to Fanatics for the next one.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
And then,
But just keep game time for the second one. We'll just do Fanatics for the mailbag.
my bad on that.
Well, we could just, we'll fix that. I'll show you how.
My finger hit.
All good. My man CPJ in the building. What's up, bro? We got some people. Pick a point guard. We got 230 people watching. No one's picking a damn point guard. The angry casual fan says CP. John Pettit says CP. Thank you, sir. CPJ in the building. Rashidi Aiken says Tyler Kolek. Gregory Williams says rookie during the regular season and the veteran during the playoffs. How's that sound? What I would actually like is for Campaign to start the season, and then by the halfway point, he passes the torch to the kid, and then he's the guy. But I also like having the vet play in the playoffs who's been there and done that. John Pettit says Tibbs only played rookies when we were rebuilding. Now that we're contenders, he's going with vets. You're probably right. But he's not really like a rookie. I mean, he is a rookie. I don't want to say he's not a rookie, but Tyler Kolek is 23 years old. He'll be 24 in March. He's not some five-star prospect out of high school that's coming into the league that's still wet behind the ears. What's up, Brody?
Text me later, what, Chief tomorrow?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Nelly Nell in the building. What's up? What up? As VM coming with a super chat. What up, man? So you would do Deuce and Precious for Zubac? Yes. I would trade Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa for Zubac, my twin. I would do that. And another one. Shout out to ZM. Says, is Zoo for its Precious and Deuce a rumor? I haven't heard anything about it. I have not heard anything about the Knicks trading Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa for Zubac. I have not heard anything about that. So I cannot speak on if that is a rumor. ZM67 coming in with a super chat. Appreciate the love. Thank you. And then another super chat. Back to back. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Then Kenya, my man. What's up, homie? Says, my bad. Sup, Reed? What's up, Kenya? Randle going to ball out. He want OG money. But if you don't sign by the free agent deadline, trade him and get some pickbacks and decent bench player. So you're saying, Kenya, if Julius Randle does not sign that contract extension, the Knicks should trade him? Kind of sounded like me a little bit. You're kind of sounding like me. I don't want to put words in your mouth there, Kenya, but CPJ in the building, I agree with you. Tyler Kolek is only going to get better and better. He is. I will say what I like about Campaign is he's a damn good shooter. And he had some big-time shots for the 76ers in that Knicks game. Series, not game. I know, but John Pettit, it's not like Campaign doesn't play defense either. Campaign doesn't play defense. Start Tyler Kolek off in the G League. Kenya says, yeah. And Kenya, you know what? I think the Knicks are definitely thinking about that because why would the Knicks want to enter the season with Julius Randle potentially leaving for nothing in free agency? The Los Angeles Clippers just lost Paul George for nothing. We just lost Isaiah Hartenstein for nothing. Like, you don't want to be consistently losing good players for nothing. And good organizations don't like to put them themselves even in that spot. Campaign pretends to play defense. I can rock with that. I can rock with that.
No, that's so funny that somebody said. Who said that? Campaign.
No.
Casual fan.
Yep.
The angry casual fan. That's so funny because it's so true.
It is.
He's like this. He's like this. Going crazy. But he's really not playing defense. He's just moving really fast and moving your hands. But like he's like and like moving his shoulders and pretending. But then you just blow right by him.
That is true. Cam's got playoff experience. That is 100% true. I don't think Cam Payne is a defender.
I did see the Tyler Cole looked really good in Summer League.
Dude,
like, he looked really good.
He can dish it, man. He's your old school point guard. Is Huck Porty got a shot to play? No. Ariel Huck Porty does not have a shot to play. All right, we got another segment coming up and then a mailbag in about 30 minutes. If you want to be featured on the mailbag, get in the comment section, drop a hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. And since we did beat Boston Celtics today and the Sixers in a Super Chat battle, Reed and I are doing a beer boot race to close today's show. We'll do a beer boot race to close today's show. I got stung by a bee when I was in Mexico on my ear, and it freaking itches. It itches. It was swollen like this. For 3 days, my ear was like this. I was walking around Mexico like this. It was ridiculous. Those Mexican bees don't play, baby. They don't play. Jason says we should sign Omer Yurtseven, legit 7-footer with skill. For the veteran minimum, sure. Sure, I'm not giving him anything more than that. If we get a $50 super chat, I'm doing another beer shotgun. If we get another $50 super chat, I'll do another super chat. If we get another $50 super chat, I'll do another beer shotgun. Greg, bro, I was at the pool in Mexico, and, like, I'm standing up. I had just put more sunscreen on because white people problems and we get sunburned easily. I put it on. And I'm about to get back in the pool, and some girl's like, yo, there's a bee on you. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I wiped it away, and then I fell asleep. Bee circled back and got my ass. I caught it, got the stinger out of my ear right away, and that thing swelled up.
Wait, while you were slumped?
No, I wasn't slumped.
Oh, I was going to say, it got you in your slump? That's crazy.
Literally, like, I put it on. I smacked it away. I thought I was good. Then I was about to walk in the pool, and then got my ass. That shit hurt, man. I hadn't been stung by a bee in a long time, and I forgot how bad those hurt. Crazy, crazy. No switch. Coming in with a $2 super chat. That's my guy right there. First timer. Having some fun. Says Zubac fit Tibbs' scheme. Yeah. He's a shot blocker. He's got some offensive game. He sets really good screens. I think Zubac would be your starting center. But I also don't think the Clippers are trading him for Precious Achiuwa and Deuce McBride. Trade Randle for Kawhi? Why? Why would we do that? Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play basketball, it seems like, anymore. Thomas Davis says, I really want that center from Chicago. What would it cost us? Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa. Mitchell Robinson and Precious Achiuwa. That's how you make the money work. And I'm not doing that. I'm not trading Mitchell Robinson for Nikola Vucevic. I ain't doing that shit. Vasquez in the building. What's up, man? What's up, Vasquez? Nelly Nell. We got all the real ones in the building. Shout out to y'all. Let's do it. Let's hop into this next segment real quick. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we break down the latest news and rumors that surround this basketball team. Earlier this week, the New York Knicks signed Chuma Okeke in NBA free agency. It was an Exhibit 10 deal, which means the Knicks still have an open roster spot for a guaranteed contract. And they actually do still have the taxpayer mid-level exception, which could pay a player in the first year of that contract $5.2 million, which means that the Knicks are going to make that happen, and we're going to talk about 5 players they could do it for. The Knicks are 100% going to use the taxpayer mid-level exception because they are $7.6 million below the second apron, and there's no reason not to use it. But the main reason that they are going to use this, not because they need another player on this roster. They could obviously use a center, but none of those guys that they want are available in free agency. It is because they want to have $5.2 million to use in a trade if something becomes available at the trade deadline. How do I know that? Because of the way that they structured the Precious Achiuwa deal. Fred Katz was the one to report this back on July 30th when Achiuwa did put pen to paper to return to the Knicks. Katz of The Athletic says, quote, Precious Achiuwa has waived his bird veto, a league source says. Normally, a player of Achiuwa's type who re-signs on a one-year contract receives the right to veto any deal. But since Achiuwa waived his, he can be traded without the ability to veto the deal. So why would the Knicks structure that? Because of this. The person you are going to sign for the taxpayer mid-level exception plus Precious Achiuwa equals $11.2 million in salary, meaning the Knicks can send out the player they're going to sign with Precious and bring somebody back for $11.19 million and hopefully add someone that is going to improve this roster. The Knicks want to be able to make a deal at the deadline if they need to. They like Precious. They want him to be the guy. But let's say an injury happens, or they have a need somewhere else, or they figure out that Precious can't get it done at the backup five. They don't want to be in a spot like, well, we don't have anyone to trade. We can't do it. That's why they're going to go out and sign someone. So let's talk about 5 players that they can, not to help this team, but to maybe make them a more valuable trade partner for that $5.2 million. The first player I want to talk about on today's show is Isaac Okoro, the defensive guard formerly of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is a free agent. I do expect him, though, to re-sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okoro at 6'5", 23 years old, is one of the better defensive guards in the NBA. He just couldn't guard Jalen Brunson in the playoffs of 2023. He had a pretty solid year last year for Cleveland, averaging 9.4 points per game, and he actually has become a pretty solid shooter from downtown, upping his three-point percentage from 29% to 35% to 36.3% to 39.1%. He was actually in the top 100 of catch-and-shoot three-point percentage this past year. Only thing is I'm not so sure he's going to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers because Okoro's qualifying offer is for 1 year and $11.8 million. He could sign that deal today, but also the Cleveland Cavaliers could pull that deal from him. Maybe you could incentivize him for a 2-year, $12 million deal or something like that with the second year as a player option. But he's the best free agent left, so it'd be dumb not to talk about him. Let's talk about another guard that actually played in New York last year for the Brooklyn Nets, Lonnie Walker. I've always been a fan of Lonnie Walker's game coming out of Miami, one of those hyper-athletic guards. And how could we forget the 2023 playoffs when he had some big-time games for the Los Angeles Lakers? Young enough to still carry some trade value, because you don't just want to sign anyone to $5.2 million. You at least want to incentivize the other team to play for the guy. But for some reason, he just hasn't found a home in the NBA. I like the way he competes, and I think there's been some growth in his game. Kind of like Okoro, you've seen the outside shot become a little bit more consistent. At 31.4% in 2021, up to 36.5%, then up to 38.4% from downtown. He could score as well. He averaged 9.7 points per game last year, and in 3 out of the last 4 years, or the prior 3 years, he averaged north of 11.2 points per game. There's somebody out there that could use him, and I do think that if the Knicks were to sign him, he could be a valuable player in a trade down the line. Another guy that I think fits the bill of that is Talen Horton-Tucker, the guy that was once going to be the person the Knicks or the Lakers were going to trade to get a big-time player. Never lived up to that hype, but at 23 years old and the skill set that he brings, maybe at $5.2 million, he could be something that the Knicks could trade that could be wanted by another team. Remember, we're not signing these players to help the Knicks. We're signing these players to be traded later in December. Talen Horton-Tucker has always been one of the more interesting case studies in the NBA. He can get downhill. He can finish. He's got a nice handle. He can create a little bit. He could play above the rim. Kind of reminds me of a little brown shirt, my player type of guy. And I do think that there are some teams out there that would be interested in trading for him if they are trying to rebuild or something along those lines. We've got a couple more players to talk about, but I got to take this time to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use that promo code ChatSports, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. It's the best ticketing app on the market. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer, and Game Time, make sure you get the lowest price guaranteed. I've used every single ticketing app out there, and honestly, none of them even come close to Game Time. My favorite feature of Game Time is you could select down on the drop-down menu and go for all-in pricing, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't want to be hit by those hidden fees. You can look at all-in pricing, your last-minute tickets. The app's going to let you know when the flash deals of the seats are going on. You get a view from the seat inside the app, and oh yeah, you get the lowest price guaranteed. It's the only app I use because it's the best, and I deserve the best just like you do. Download the app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports. That's ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. A guy that I actually do think could actually help the Knicks right now. He's older, so doesn't have nearly the trade value I think of some of these other guys do. But Marcus Morris Sr., once a Knick, always a Knick, actually played pretty decent for Cleveland in one game against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. I think he had like 26 points or something like that. 34 years old, but one thing the Knicks really do lack right now is a backup power forward. That is going to be Josh Hart, maybe Keita Bates-Diop or Chuma Okeke. Precious Achiuwa is your prototypical backup four, but because where the Knicks are in their roster, they're actually going to use him as their backup five. And I don't mind adding a guy that's a little rough, a little rugged, not scared of anybody, and he'll get somebody's face and tell him to shut up. Marcus Morris was once one of the better face-up players in this league. I don't think he's cooked, but he's not the same guy that he was in 2022 when he averaged 15 points per game. I always thank him as well for helping the Knicks get Emmanuel quickly when he was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. Still shot 40% from downtown, and if you can add a guy that's 6'8", shoot 40% from downtown, be a veteran, I think that could actually make some sense. I think he's probably the only player in free agency at this point that I really want to sign to help this roster. But the point of today's video is players the Knicks can sign to eventually trade down the line. I think the guy that actually would carry the most trade value is Markelle Fultz, the former number 1 overall pick out of Washington, the 76er that never really lived up to the hype. Well, I think it is fair to call him a bust. I also want to give him credit for being looked at as a bust. Could have easily given up on his NBA career. And he's bounced back, and he's carved out a little role for him. And he's actually, I thought he was decent for the Orlando Magic last year. At 6'3", still just 26 years old. He was pretty solid for Orlando last year. He's a big guard who competes on defense, gets downhill, has a nice little mid-range shot. Kind of reminds me of Sean Livingston from back in the day. He just cannot shoot the ball. Like, I don't know what happened because at Washington, this guy looked like a mini James Harden. He just can't shoot it. I had heard some rumors that he had gotten an ATV accident before his rookie year started in Philadelphia, and that's why his shoulders messed up, and he just lost confidence and things of that nature. But if I'm a team out there that needs a backup point guard down the line, or I'm a team that's looking to trade maybe a veteran that's worth $11.2 million, I can get back Markelle Fultz, and maybe he could be a guy that could be a backup guard for me off the bench. I like the size. I like the athleticism. I like the play style outside of the fact that he's just throwing up bricks from downtown. Another player that could fit this boat as well is Landry Shamet, the sharpshooter, the 27-year-old. He could just shoot it. And those guys are always going to be valued across the NBA. You shoot north of 38%. There's always going to be a spot for you in this league. Shamet is also another player I think the Knicks could look to sign to eventually trade down the line to that taxpayer mid-level exception of $5.2 million. Name a free agent you want the Knicks to sign, though. I know a lot of people have been calling for Omer Yeshtervin. We know the Knicks had some interest in Davis Bertans. Give me a name of a free agent you want the Knicks to sign. And make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Same handle as well as on IG. Hit me up over there, and let's talk some Knicks. Let's go, let's go. Tyro says there is for sure a trade coming. Yeah, the Knicks are prepping. I'm not going to say I know a trade is coming, but I do know that the Knicks are trying to put themselves in a spot to be able to make a trade. You don't want to go to the poker table with no chips. And the Knicks are just trying to add some chips right now to their pocket. No freaking way. Jack, where have you been, my man? That's my guy right there. Jack was the king of Knicks Now, summer of 2022. Jack, you look damn good in the profile picture, man. Thank you for stopping by and remembering the little guys over here. For real, though, Jack, I appreciate you, man. Knicks Now would not be where it is if people like you did not support it at the time that they did. So I'm always in debt to you, and I appreciate you, man. Says, let's go, Marshall. Tell me who our Knicks are trading for. I think we need a starting center. I was killed on Twitter when I said the Knicks should trade Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson for a starting center. People thought they were so funny and they're so smart. You know what they said? Mitchell Robinson is a starting center. And I said, yeah, when healthy. He's played more than 59 games one time in the last 4 years. I think the Knicks are in a spot where they are worried about Mitchell Robinson. Ian Begley even reported that the Knicks aren't all that confident in Robinson staying healthy. So, yeah, man, I don't know who it is. I wish I had an answer for you. I don't know, man. I really don't. I've gone through a lot of trade situations. We've been hearing some Jonas Valanciunas lately. I don't know. I do want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in today. We still got 211 people watching. We're going to get to a mailbag coming up in a second. If you want to be featured on our mailbag, make sure you just ask a question in the comments, but include hashtag Knicks. That way producer Reed, who just ran to the bathroom real quick, can pop those questions up on screen. Also, thank you to everybody that Super Chatted, helped us become the #1 NBA channel this week in Super Chats at Chat Sports. We passed 76ers now. We passed Boston Celtics today. And at the end of the show, I am going to be racing Reed, producer Reed, in a beer boot. Darren and Jabari. So, yeah, my man. Jack, you are the man, brother. Thank you, bro. Thank you, though. He says Mitch isn't a star. I think, look, if I was guaranteed that Mitchell Robinson was going to be healthy for every game, I would be totally cool with him being our starting center. But I also am pretty confident he's going to miss time because 4 out of the last 5 years he has missed an extended period of time. My dream center trade that's realistic is Wendell Carter from the Orlando Magic. Jason says I was hating. No, I'm not hating. I just think that my favorite part about the NBA is, myself included, we obsess over these guys that aren't really that good. And Omer Yasturban's not that good. Yeah, exactly, Jack. Exactly. But Wendell Carter is my #1 trade target at the center spot. He reminds me of Baby Al Horford. Baby Al Horford. John Pettis says, listen, if it makes sense, I have no problem trading Randle for someone as good or better, but some of y'all... Yeah, I'm not... I hope I've made it clear. I'm not trading Randle just to trade him. The Bagman says, Marshall, how do you get your questions on that video you do? Comment a question and then put #Knicks. #Knicks. Hashtag Knicks. You got to include hashtag Knicks in there. Yeah, 5 out with Wendell Carter. He could shoot it. Solid defender. He could be a dribble handoff threat. I've always been a big fan of Wendell Carter's game. He has some injury issues too. No doubt about it. Dwight Howard. I don't know if Dwight Howard's going to ever play in the NBA again. The Bagman. In your comment, just make sure it's hashtag Knicks, just like you see it on screen right here. It's got to include that. That way producer Reed could put it up on show. Last chance to get your questions on the screen. Reed is going to prioritize the people that super chatted that have Knicks applicable questions. If you asked a question via a super chat that is Knicks applicable, not one that says y'all want to pour honey on me, we'll put those up on the screen. How we feeling? Shout out to everybody in the building. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon for the boys. Will Pop says, who would you trade Randle? We need some questions. Reed says we're low on questions. I need all 200 people watching right now to go in the comments and ask a question and use hashtag Knicks. That way producer Reed can put it up on the show. G5 Wheeze coming in with a question. Shout out to you. Shout out to G5 Wheeze. Let's go. Like that. 66 Kemble. Thank you for the super. Thank you for getting a question in.
G5 Wiz with the. Are we better than a 55-win team this season? So, I think you're higher than 55, honestly.
55. That's a lot. The total is 51.5. The bag man getting the question in. Thank you, brother. Bill says, I heard the Magic want to make a deal. Carter Jr. we could use, and I always wanted Isaac and Cole Anthony. Well, you're not getting Jonathan Isaac. They just extended him for $100 million. They're not going to trade him. Jabari and Sengun, yeah, that would be sick. Almost like I said I would do that 3 weeks ago. People got mad at me. Jack, thank you, brother, for the super chat. We'll hit that in the mailbag.
Right off the bat.
Simon says, love that question. Derek says, what does Rui Hachimura make? Let's find out. I want to say it's like $15 million. He signed a 3-year, $51 million deal, so about $17 million. About $17 million. I don't know how the Knicks get to 17. Tristan Thompson. I'm good on Tristan Thompson, Greg. I think the Knicks could. I think Jericho Sims is better than Tristan Thompson. All righty. Let's get into it. Last call. All super chats will be on the screen. Shout out to you. Let's do it. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and it is mailbag time here on the channel. So, if you want to be featured on the next mailbag, you got to be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, go hit that big red button. And I want to do this. If you're a real one and you rock with Knicks Now by Chat Sports, type me down in the comment section. First question coming in from a longtime viewer. Shout out to my guy Jack. Says, what do you think Randle's trade value is? I think it's pretty low compared relative to the player he is. Of all the players in the NBA that are 3-time All-Stars and 2-time All-NBA players in the last 4 years, he has the lowest trade value. And I don't know if it's because he hasn't produced in the playoffs. I don't know if it's because he's had 2 nasty injuries in the last 2 years. I don't know if it's because he's going to be 30 in November. I don't know if it's because people don't think he's a winning player. But right now, Julius Randle is a better player and makes more of an impact for the Knicks than his trade value. So I don't think the Knicks will trade him unless they are getting a player that, A, makes them better, B, is a better fit, or C, a player that could be better than Randle down the line. Those are the only three ways I see the Knicks trading Randle. Or Randle doesn't sign that contract extension this weekend, which, as we're filming this video, it is Friday. He can sign it Saturday, so he may have already signed it by now. They are only trading him if they're getting somebody better, that's a better fit, or could be better down the line. Unless he doesn't sign it and they get an indication he wants to leave in free agency. Then they'll just try to recoup any asset they can get back so they don't look like the Clippers who lost Paul George for nothing. Pudgy Boys, Sports Talk. What's up, bro? Marsh, need your help with this, so I know I'm not crazy. I was debating with a fellow Knicks fan on why they still hate trading RJ for OG Anunoby. If you are still complaining about the RJ Barrett trade, you got to grow up. Like, you just got to grow up. Anunoby is a much better player. He has much bigger impact on winning. There's 30 GMs in the NBA. None of them would take OG Anunoby behind RJ Barrett. There's a reason OG just got $200 million. No one in the league would pay RJ Barrett $200 million. Also, you just saw Manually Quickly get paid. Knicks were never going to be able to play Brunson what he wants and Quickly what he wants. It was a great trade. I do it every single time. No Switch, what's up, man? First time super chatter. Thank to you. Says I follow a Knicks fan page that offered Deuce, Precious, and a potential trade for Zubac. What would you do this trade? The only way I'm doing this trade is if it's Deuce and Precious straight up. I don't really want to add any picks. I'll do a couple of second-round picks, but I'm definitely not giving up a first-round pick. I don't even love giving up Deuce. But I do think that Zubac would be the best center on this team, and I think a center rotation and duo of Zubac and Mitchell Robinson would be pretty damn powerful, and it would equip Tom Thibodeau with the tools that he wants. I've always been a fan of Zubac. People say I look like him. I would do it, and I would hate to see Deuce go. I would. Joel King, Precious and Sims ball out this year. Are they gone? Maybe. The Knicks still do have the bird rights for Precious, and they'll also have the bird rights for Jericho Sims. So if they value him at the point that they want to get paid, they can bring him back. But you can't pay everybody, and we saw that. You couldn't pay Isaiah Hartenstein. That's usually a good problem to have, because if Precious Achiuwa balls out and he is now valued at higher than what he is right now, that means he probably had a direct impact on winning, and the Knicks probably did a lot of that. If I had to make a bet, I would say one of these two guys, though, are most likely gone at the end of the season, if not one of them traded, being Precious Achiuwa. Carl, what's up, man? Shout out to Carl, the OG of Knicks Now. Says, Yo, Marsh! What's up, dog? I heard Jonas Valanciunas might be a trade option involving Precious and whoever we sign with the mid-level. Yes, there are rumors out there that the Knicks could package Precious Achiuwa and his $6 million and the $5.2 million taxpayer mid-level guy that they're going to sign. There are rumors out there. But it could not happen until December 15th because the Washington Wizards signed him in free agency. And you can only sign players in free agency once you get past December 15th. So that could be an option down the line, and that may be a little bit more realistic than them making a deal right now. I think Valanciunas is an offensively skilled player. His defense has taken a step back, but a center rotation of Valanciunas and Mitchell Robinson is pretty solid. And I like the contrasting style of those two guys. We know Robinson is an elite shot blocker, elite offensive rebounder, whereas Valanciunas is a guy that's more of a scoring guy and can give you a little bit more skill on the offensive end. So definitely a player that I could see the Knicks pursuing, but it would not be until mid-December. 51.5 wins for the New York Knicks. That's what the odd makers out west have set the win total for the 2024 New York Knicks. Do you think they'll be over? Do you think they'll be under? I want to hear from you in the chat. Froze3. Love that name. What's a realistic move we can make this season that will help the team? I personally don't see how you do it this year. The most realistic move the Knicks can make is going out and signing someone to that taxpayer mid-level exception taxpayer mid-level exception, which is $5.2 million. And then you pair that player with Precious Achiuwa, and you have $11.2 million. Then you trade for somebody that makes less than $11.2 million. I'm going to be doing a video next week on trade targets for those two contracts, so I don't want to spill too much of the beans there. But that is the route that they would travel, Froze, to make the more realistic move. The taxpayer mid-level exception player, a.k.a. the human trade exception, with Precious Achiuwa. You pair those together, couple of second-round picks, maybe a first, and you trade for someone that makes around $11.2 million. That's really the only way, unless they're giving up someone that's in the rotation. And I'm not sure that they actually want to do that at this current moment. More questions in a second, but I need you to get hooked up with our Knicks Now Real One t-shirt. We've got blue. We've got black. Get your today. Chatsports.com/realknicks. Are you a real one? Prove it. Go right here. Get your shirt. They're swaggy and all the cool kids got them. Chatsports.com/realknicks. That's chatsports.com/realknicks. Stay mellow. $10 super chat. Shout out to you. It says, can our team, recently constructed, beat a healthy and hungry Milwaukee team this year? Or do we need more moves? Giannis and Dame are nothing to sleep on. I think the Knicks beat the Bucks in 5 games. If we are healthy and they are healthy, we beat them in 5 games. Who is guarding Jalen Brunson? They have no defensive guards. You putting Damian Lillard on Jalen Brunson, he's cooked. You say Giannis and Dame are nothing to sleep on. Giannis is nothing to sleep on. I think Damian Lillard is washed. I think he's a foul merchant. I think he's a product of the NBA at this point. Still a good player. He's not a great player anymore. He doesn't guard. He, in my opinion, is just a score-first player at this point that really isn't all that efficient. I'm going to just look at his stats. I'm really confident in what they were. Yeah, Damian Lillard shot 42% from the field, 35% from 3. He's not the – it ain't Portland no more. Dame time, it ain't Dame time no more. It's getting late. He's getting real late at Dame time. I think the Knicks cook the Bucks. I really do. Giannis will be the best player in the series, but after that, I think the Knicks have the best – Randle's better than Dame. Brunson's better than Dame. OG's better than Dame. And Mikal Bridges is better than Dame. So of the top 5 players in the series, the Knicks have 4. And, of course, as we know, this is Damian Lillard. All he does is flop. All he does is flop. He wants to live at the free throw line. Justin, what's up, bro? Do you think Julius Randle would take less than what he's expected to receive when he factors in his injury history and he's also 30 years old and hasn't shown up at the playoffs yet? Yeah, it sounds like you just made a pretty damn good point for him to take less. On top of the fact that Jalen Brunson took less and the fact that Mikal Bridges is going to take less. Look, I don't know. The Knicks can sign Julius Randle this weekend to an extension. 4 years, $181.5 million. And maybe by the time you're watching this video that he has. But I don't know. But we're going to find out what Julius Randle values here pretty quick. Does he want to win a championship? Does he want to do whatever he can to help the Knicks win a championship? Or does he want to make the most money possible? Either way, it's cool with me. Because just because Jalen Brunson took the discount doesn't mean he should. But definitely put some pressure on him. And I bet the Knicks thinks it puts some pressure on him. But in the NBA, your job is to make as much money possible. And I'll never fault a player for trying to go out and get the bag. Kenya, what's up, bro? How far do you think we can go with the current roster on paper? I feel we can go all the way. Yes. I think this team can win the NBA Finals. And this is like living in the world of what if, right? If we go into the playoffs and Brunson's healthy, Bridges is healthy, Anunoby's healthy, Randle, Robinson, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Precious, and Deuce. If those 9 players are healthy and that 3-time All-Star, that 2-time All-NBA player, if regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs and everyone else is healthy, I think the Knicks win the championship because you'd have the best point guard in the East and you would have another guy that's a 2-time All-NBA player to go with OG, Mikal, Hart, Chenzo, and Robinson. The biggest X factor in the NBA this year is Julius Randle. If he plays up to his potential in the playoffs, the Knicks might be NBA champions for the first time since 1972-73. John Pettit with $100 super chat. He says, F Boston, we're coming for you this year. Now let's all get behind our Knicks this year. All positive, all year. Let's go Knicks! I need everybody to give me an F Boston in the chat. If you're watching and you don't type F Boston, I'm going to assume you're a fan of the Miami Heat. Give me an F Boston in the chat. And hit me up on social media so we can continue the conversation, especially if I didn't get to your question today. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up and let's go Knicks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to John Pettit. A legend. A legend. A negative Nets fan is watching. Are you now a Knicks fan because we traded for your boy Mikal Bridges? Have fun with Bojan Bogdanovic, buddy. Get ready to learn Bogdanovic. Get ready. Enjoy using our picks to select 25th, 28th, and 30th. Have fun. Have fun. That's the first time I ever met a Brooklyn Nets fan. Never have met a Brooklyn Nets fan in my life. Literally nothing to gain by jumping the gun on a Randle extension. What do you mean by that? Expand your thoughts there, Kid Lightning. I'm curious what you mean by that. Greg. F Boston. Dead. Trading Randle for Markkanen. If he doesn't want to play here and he doesn't sign that extension, I think you have to think about that. Thing is, I don't think that Danny Ainge thinks that Julius Randle is on the same playing field as Lauri Markkanen. I bet he wants us to add the first-round picks we have, and I just can't add 2 first-round picks to Randle to get Markkanen. I just don't think I could do that. Negative Nets fan says Boston would do y'all even dirtier than the Mavs. What would y'all do to us? What would the Nets do to the Knicks? How about that? But I have noticed most fans, when their teams are bad, they just start rooting for other teams to beat their rivals, and it seems like that's what you're doing right now. But let's talk about the Nets. How are y'all looking? Starting lineup's going to be fire this year, right? You're going to have Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, Dorian Finney-Smith. What are we thinking? 15 wins this year for the Nets? 15 wins this year for the Nets? Is that what we're thinking? New York and New Jersey will forever be a New York Knicks city and state. Always, always, always. Bill says there aren't many Net fans. Evan Roberts and this negative Net guy. Yeah, Evan Roberts. Have fun rooting for the Nets this year, brother. Get ready to learn Bojan Bogdanovic. The Bagman says Reed sold me. Damn. Does the Bagman have a question in there? Let's pop it up on screen. The Bagman says Reed sold me. Dead. There's only so much he could do.
There's only so many questions I can put in 12, 13 minutes that we have when we do the mailbag.
Negative Nets fans, you guys ain't even making the Eastern Conference Finals. What are y'all making? You're making the lottery. Enjoy ping pong balls, son.
You're making pina coladas in Cancun.
Yeah, have fun in Cancun. It's a lot of fun. I was just there. You're going to enjoy it. Enjoy Cancun in May. The bag man. Jam Session says Knicks are a top 3 team in the NBA. We are spoiled, and I love this team. They are a top 3 team in the NBA. It's the Knicks, it's the Celtics, and it's the Thunder, and I think there's a little bit of a gap after that. The bag man says, Marshall, what do you think about trading Julius, Mitch, and Deuce? Maybe even a pick on top of that for Jabari Smith and Sengun. Yeah, enjoy the bees in Mexico, negative Nets fan. Dead. That's good comedy right there, Greg, that I can appreciate. Yeah, enjoy Cancun now. Just go now and go save a spot on the beach. Yep, we'll be going to Cancun with a championship. You'll be going there with maybe the 3rd pick in the draft. Mitch, Deuce, Julius, and a pick for Sengun and Jabari? I would so not do that. So not do that. Can't wait to see you guys be a 2nd-round exit again so I can laugh. Yep, we're one of 3 teams to make it to the 2nd round 2 years in a row. Us, Celtics, and Nuggets. We're in a good spot.
Wait, where did they go last year?
The Nets? Or who?
No, the Nets.
The Nets, they went to bumfuck nowhere.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I was just making sure.
Yeah, unless I missed it. I didn't get to see the Nets in the playoffs or play-in this year. Did anybody else see that? Because I didn't see that. Only thing I saw was Jalen Brunson getting MVP chance at the Barclays Center. It was a weird thing for an away team to get that. Yeah, no one saw that. Hey, y'all got to the finals that one time with Richard Jefferson, though. That was cool. That was cool.
Do you remember when they had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden all in the same time?
And they were going to win it all?
And they were going to win it all?
I do remember that. Remember when they signed DeAndre Jordan with him, and they were like, dude, we're so back. The Brooklyn Nets.
And Blake Griffin, too?
Oh, my God. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was so cool with the Brooklyn Nets.
Wait, remember when they got all those Celtics legends, too?
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson.
Man. Wait, is our memory just terrible, or?
How many? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember them having much success with those teams. I don't remember much. But for real, though, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Cam Thomas shoot 30 shots next year and win 12 games. The Pistons are better than the Nets.
Yeah.
They actually are.
Abdul, anyone who hops in here who's not a Knicks fan, gonna get cooked.
Yeah. The oven's preheated, brother. Oven's preheated. I think he left. Knicks making the finals is comedy. Yeah. Yep. That's all you got? Is that all you got? Like, did you go to private school? The juice box is empty. Oh, my God.
Like backyard baseball when you're pitching, and the
Juice
juice goes all the
box
way
is
down,
empty.
it's done.
Brother, if you want to come be a Knicks fan, we don't want you. We don't want you. I mean, imagine saying I root for the Brooklyn Nets.
You can't even decide what city you're from.
Yeah, what? But Marshall. Oh, man. Make sure you get that homework turned in by the end of the day, buddy. Make sure you get that homework turned in. And probably go take the chicken out of the freezer so when your mother comes home tonight, it's defrosted.
Let's just take a look at this.
Oh, man.
Let's just take a look at this for a second. Let's just take a look at this.
I mean, there is a former Brooklyn Net on this team. Thing is, he's not our best player. He's our 4th best player. So, a little bit different there. Yeah, negative Nets fan. It's okay. I'd be in shambles, too, if I was a Nets fan. I would. I mean, imagine being an NBA fan and your point guard is not Jalen Brunson. That sounds like a life I don't want to live because I lived it for a really long time, like a really long time. He says, negative Nets fan says Mikal isn't even an all-star. Yep, he's also not a Net anymore either. Have fun rooting for Bojan Bogdanovic, buddy. The first thing you said is right. Mikal Bridges is not an all-star. He's also not a Net anymore. I'm pretty sure you at one point said, bro, we are never trading y'all Mikal Bridges. White Falcon says, what position is Josh Hart going to play? Whatever he wants to play. It's Josh Hart. It's Josh Hart, baby.
He does need to get his three-point shooting.
Three-point shot needs to get better, no doubt. Bozos think Mikal is the GOAT. I just told you he was our
he's the fourth best player.
We just told you he was the fourth best player on the team. Fourth best player on the team. Yeah, you better start hoping Cooper flags a net. If not, your franchise is cooked again. I think y'all are going to move again. I actually think the Brooklyn Nets are going to move to Las Vegas.
Oh, my God. I was just about to say that.
Hey, you better learn Las Vegas Strip. Oh, man.
The Bagman asking if I have a YouTube channel. I mean, no. This is my YouTube channel.
This is the one he works on the most. This and Giants. And Browns and Broncos and Falcons.
Just tune in, man. I'm here.
He's here, man.
We're having fun. We do owe a boot.
Let's get that. Let's do it.
You want to do it? You want to hit it?
Let's hit the boot race.
We did. I just want to look at this again because it's just funny. We're gonna not. I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying.
Negative Nets fans. Second round exit thinks that's their contenders. I'm at least glad that you know how to spell "their" correctly, because
let's just take a trip down memory lane. Remember the beginning of the show?
Yep, I remember the beginning of the show.
We were at 0.
Kind of like the amount of playoff games the Nets played last year. 0.
Ooh.
And the amount of games they're going to play this year in the playoffs.
Ooh.
And the amount of games Mikal Bridges is going to play for the Nets next year. 0.
Ooh.
Oh, man. I'd be pissed off if the Knicks traded my favorite player and my best player. That would suck. Why Brunson leave so much money?
Shout out to Bagman. Just out of curiosity, where's Seeps right now? Did he leave for good? Because Reedy's just asked W.
We fired Seeps.
Upgrades.
Seeps is he got a promotion. He is doing more on-air stuff. He's going to be hosting our Bulls channel and our Minnesota Vikings channel. So shout out to Seeps. Shout out to Seeps.
See, negative Nets fan, that's the thing about being a fan of a team. You could go through the roughest parts of being a team, and Knicks fans know it was rough. With Carmelo, you just wanted to give Carmelo a championship so bad, but it just never happened. And then now the Knicks are good and the Nets suck. You gotta live the glory, baby.
All that matters is, like, unless you want to sound like a Cowboys fan, the only thing that matters in sports is what happens right now. And we got negative Nets fan talking about don't act like when my Nets were good, you guys weren't trash. When were the Nets really good? Was it when you signed Kyrie and KD and Darren? When were the Nets really good?
Oh, Gerald Green?
Gerald Green. He could jump really high. Simon says Bulls. Yep. Seeps grew up a Bulls fan. Seeps grew up a Bulls fan, born in Chicago. More people fill the Barclays Center when the Liberty play the Nets. Agreed. Caitlin Clark sells out the Barclays Center more than anybody on the Brooklyn Nets. Gerald who? Gerald Green? You don't remember him? Back in the day? He had that alley-oop windmill where his chin was on top of the rim. You don't remember that? Cheat code on 2K? AD and LeBron coming to New York? No. My man KCC. What's up, King? He says, I love Marshall Green. I love you, brother. I love you, man. Remember when the Nets signed Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and then traded for James Harden? And then Kevin Durant said the Knicks aren't cool anymore. It's the Nets' time. And then he was traded 2 years later and they never won a playoff series. That was cool. I know it was my favorite. It's my favorite Brooklyn Nets history. I don't know if that's how negative Nets fan feels, but I think that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. It was so cool when they signed KD and Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan. You guys thought DeAndre Jordan was that dude. You thought DeAndre Jordan was that dude. Oh, shit. That's funny. Oh, my gosh. Huh. I will say this, though. you're kind of an NBA champion, negative Nets fan, because the Boston Celtics, they picked Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with your draft picks. So you're kind of an NBA champion. You're kind of an NBA champion.
He can call himself a New York Nets fan. Boston Celtics.
You're kind of, yeah, you should probably just root for them. They've got all the players that you could have got with your picks. But it was really cool when y'all traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. That was super cool. That was cool. What was cooler, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett or KD and Kyrie? That was really cool. Man, we had to deal with Phil Jackson for 5 years, and we're already better than y'all were. Lord Buddy Bear in the building. What's up, Buddy Bear? Says, how was I logged in under Buddy Bear? Not Lord Buddy Bear. I must have been drunk last night. I thought you quit drinking. Psych! That's the wrong number.
Yo, Lord Buddy Bear, how'd I do on my watch party yesterday on Houston Texans?
Lord Buddy Bear says, if I wasn't still trying to pay my teeth off, I'd super 144 just to beat the Celtics myself. Lord Buddy Bear, you're a legend, brother. We already beat him. He's kind of a champion. He's kind of a champion. The Celtics got to pick Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with picks that were owned by the Brooklyn Nets. So, like, you're kind of a champion.
You know what's funny? I'm not even a Knicks fan. I'm just speaking facts.
Yeah. But, Outlaw 24, how do you fail with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and gave up Kyrie Irving for base? They didn't give nothing for Kyrie. They got Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie. Hell of a trade. Hell of a trade. You got Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie for Kyrie. And then he was in the finals in 16 months. Way to go, Sean Marks. Narc. All righty. We got a beer boot race, a little happy dad race. Old fruit pea. Little fruit pea. Cheers. Shout out to the real ones. That's a dub. That's a dub. F Boston, F Philly, and F Brooklyn, baby. Oh, that's good shit. That's how you hydrate.
Yep. Pregame for whatever we're doing today.
That's sweat. Oh, I'm going to throw up.
What's the super chat amount for you to throw up on stream?
A lot more than this. Holy shit.
I can watch. I can watch us.
When are you a champion? What are you a champion from, negative Nets fan? Oh, man. Let's go Knicks! Marshall, if you ever throw up, at least I'm dead. At least you're not a Nets fan. No, yeah, that's true. That's true. I gotta rather kiss my sister than be a Nets fan. That's funny. Hey, Marsh. Hey, chat. That guy. What's up? Ruben Serrano. 66 Kemble. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. All righty. We are going to sign off.
We were $50 away from 300.
We are $50 away from 300.
I'll do a shotgun.
Reed says he'll shotgun if we get there. I will also shotgun if we get there. No worries if not. Already been live for 2 hours. It's been a hell of a show.
$10 closer.
As we're $10 closer, because we've got a real one in the building. Shout out to Jason B. coming in with a $10 super chat. Kenya says, does Chat Sports have a Brooklyn channel? Brooklyn Nets Brooklyn Nets channel?
Who?
No, we don't have a Brooklyn Nets channel. We're thinking about making an Indiana Fever channel before the Brooklyn Nets channel. We're going to have a Chicago Sky and Brooklyn Nets channel at the same time.
Cricket's pretty big. I think we might get into that too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. We might start doing high school football channels if we're going to do a Brooklyn Nets channel. Kenya, that was funny, brother. That was funny. Jason B. and says, don't forget, F. Danny Ainge as always. If you don't know what FDA means, you just haven't been around long enough. If you don't know what FDA means, you haven't been around long enough. Jason B., you, my friend, are a legend. You, my friend, are a legend. Brian Fitzgerald, 2 for the boys. 2 for the boys. Shout out to Brian. My man's been showing love all year long. Love seeing him in the chat.
From 300.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Ooh.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Oh, 36 away.
I
We're
legit thought I was
chipping
about
away,
to.
baby.
We're chipping away. We're chipping away. We're 36 away. 36
We're
away
gonna
from a beer
recruit
shotgun
Jason
race
Kidd.
to close out the show. Shout to Gregory Williams. Brooklyn going to recruit Jason Kidd. They're going to need a lot more than Jason Kidd. They might need Jason Kidd's kids. Froze says, leave him alone. It's enough knowing he's a Nets fan. I mean, there's a lot of things in life that would suck. Being a Brooklyn Nets fan's at the top. It is.
That's just rough. What's worse, Wizards or Nets?
I think that being a Brooklyn Nets fan is worse than the Washington Wizards.
I don't doubt it.
When is Mikal Bridges extension negotiations begin? I think it's 6 months from the trade. 6 months from the trade happening. 6 months from when the trade took place, they can negotiate an extension, to my knowledge.
Let's see here.
Negative Nets fan says, only thing funny is thinking y'all as contenders.
You said that already.
You've said that. You've said that. And nobody laughed at
We need
with
some
you.
new
They just
content.
laughed at you. We were actually contenders before we got Bridges. But you know what? It's okay. We're here for you.
All right.
You know what's crazy? We're on subscriber chat only mode, which means you subscribe to a New York Knicks channel.
Oh, ho, ho.
Are you secretly a Knicks fan? Do you want to be a Knicks fan?
I think he won.
Should we let him be a Knicks fan? Type Y for yes, type N for no. On the bright side, you are correct, John Pettit. He says, hey, Marsh, one thing I can say he will have no problem with is getting tickets, unless the Knicks are playing the Brooklyn Nets. Bang! Yep, done.
All right, we're $36 away from $300. I'm putting a timer for 3 minutes.
I'm
If
cool
we don't
with
get
that.
it by then,
We outie.
we out of here. It's Friday. We're about to go do something fun.
It's
We're gonna get
Friday.
active.
I ain't got
wanna-
no job.
We want to let you guys go get active, have some fun on this Friday. We got 3 minutes on the clock.
So this is my question for you, Reed. Negative Nets fan says, I don't want to be a fan of a fake contender.
A fake contender.
So what are the Nets?
Yeah.
If the Knicks are fake contenders, what are the Knicks?
Oh, real frauds?
Yeah, real frauds? Dog shit? Oh, man.
So what is fake contenders, though? Because you ask anyone in the office, top 3 teams in the East It's the Knicks, the Celtics, the Sixers.
Yeah. I think that's pretty consensus.
The Celtics are trying to run it back. When has that ever worked?
It's kind of true.
The Nuggets tried to do it. Didn't work. So the Celtics are trying to run it back. The Knicks have had an insane offseason. And so have the Sixers. It's going to be neck and neck between the Sixers and the Knicks. I don't know, Jim.
Are the Nets the worst team in the NBA? I think they are.
The Pistons freaking suck, dude.
How do you get fired on your day off? It's Friday.
Oh, shit.
I ain't got no
$26
job.
away.
As Kenya coming in with a $10 super chat. He says, for the Nets fans, subscribe. Thanks for the love. I am glad that negative Nets fan is one of 52,000 strong here on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I don't know what we'd do without you. I don't. He says, I'm only subbed to spread the truth. You're doing the Lord's work, buddy. You're doing the Lord's work.
Thank you so much.
Proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you.
I think he's getting a kick out of this.
He has never got this much attention in his life. Never this much attention in his life.
Only winning chip. No chip. Okay. All right. This is us.
As Abdul Kima coming in as a first time super chatter. Shout out to Abdul, a first-time super chatter. You are never going to forget this feeling. You're going to chase that feeling of the first time you did it for the rest of your life. There's no better time than the first time. And you're going to be chasing that high for the rest of your life. Shout out to AC. That's my guy. As we got now batting number 2. Lord Buddy Bear, number 2. Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear, a real one, a Knicks Now real one, and a Chat Sports Hall of Famer. He says the Nets are dumb. Let's give up Bridges for 4 late first-round picks. Jazz might be worse than the Nets, but both are basically overrated G League teams. I think the Chat Sports 5 could beat the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, my God. I know you're number 1, but I only like to do that in the number. Now batting number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. Raymond Diaz in the building. What up? Oh, we're $20 away from a beer shotgun race. I think we got about 30 seconds left on the timer. As Gregory Williams coming in with a $10 super chat. 10 away. We're 10 away. He says something's burning up in here. Are there batteries in the smoke detector? Oh, my God. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you better get to know. That's my guy, G-Dub in the building. He's been an MVP today. Shout out to him. Bringing the laughs, bringing the vibes. It's my guy right there. Vasquez says, if you haven't liked the video and support the channel, it's free. If you haven't liked the video, just leave at this point. If you haven't left, if you haven't liked it, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. We're 10 away from a beer shotgun.
To be clear, Brian.
Beer shotty.
Shotgun.
Beer shotgun race. If I did another
and
boot.
There it is!
As no switch says your profile picture has a Nets fan hiding under bags. No wonder we can't find the Nets fan.
I think he's secretly a Nets fan or a Knicks fan, and all
of his friends are Knicks fans.
He can't blow his cover.
He can't. all of his friends are Knicks fans. Oh, my gosh. Negative Nets fan says, I bet you have never gotten this much donos. Yeah, no, this is the most donations we've ever gotten show. Most donations we've ever gotten a show.
Who's the real one in here that knows what's going on?
Oh, negative Nets fan. I appreciate you, dude. I hope you're here every game. You bring a lot of energy. A lot of energy. All righty.
All right.
I've got a beer.
I don't. I got to go grab one.
Gregory Williams says, not even close. I'm not trying to minimize anything that's happened today. My mother told me I ain't got to prove nobody. I ain't got to prove shit to nobody. Nothing. Yeah, Brian Fitzgerald, he doesn't know who Danny McGrath is. I miss Danny McGrath. I miss Danny McGrath. He don't know about no Mike G. He don't know about Double R. As Lord Buddy Blair says, they had 3,500 from just one guy once. I don't like to flaunt, I don't like to brag, but it did happen. Shout out to Rob Rodriguez, the largest super chat ever sent in on Knicks Now, $3,500. It was ridiculous. We drink tonight, Kenya. His mommy's warming up the milk. He likes warm. He can't go to sleep without his warm milk.
But to be fair, we love everyone the
Same.
If you like the video, we love you.
Yep.
If you send in $3,500,
we love you. If you're here and you're in the chat and you're participating, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. As Jason B coming in with a $10 super chat. Shout out to Jason B.
whoa!
The real never waver. The real never waver. I feel like we need to make negative Nets fan do something.
What do you want a negative Nets fan to do?
I don't know. I want him to shut the hell up.
No, I want him to keep talking. It's comedy, honestly.
It honestly is. My bad. Kenya, my brother. Shout out to Jason B. $10 super chat. He says,
Go ahead.
let's go!
All right, so negative Nets fan said, keep dreaming because we're not gonna. The Knicks aren't gonna win a championship. And then now he says y'all need to wake up. What do you want from us?
Do you want us to wake up or keep dreaming?
I don't know.
Which one is it? This guy's a joke. To negative Nets fan. Cheers. Negative Nets fan definitely eats corn the long way.
Oh,
Lord Buddy Bear, he eats corn the long way.
he uses a shake weight.
He might be related to Josh McDaniels. He might be related to Josh McDaniels. What a way to start the weekend. What a way to start the weekend. Woo! Shout out to everybody that tuned in today. Over 4,000 people tuned in today. And I am excited to say that negative Nets fan was one of them.
All right.
Josh, that is Josh McDaniels. Friday night, and we got a Nets fan hanging out in the Knicks chat, talking noise. I love it. I love it.
He just keeps saying the same thing, too.
He's just like a little infant crying for mommy milk.
I think he might be a bot.
Rashidi, I'm good, Brody. I'm good. I did a week's long of preparation in Cancun last week. Shout to UPS for finally doing something right.
Yo, John Petty. I mean, really, who honestly can wake up and say, I'm a Nets fan?
A miserable human being. A miserable human being.
Yo, it's like that. like from Despicable Me when Gru's walking through the park and everything?
Yes.
And he just kicks the bucket of the guy drumming. He pops the balloon of the of the little kid. That's Nets fans.
Shit. Jonathan, my man, what's up, brother? What's up, bro? John says, now I'm real. 66 Kemble says, now I'm really loaded. Enjoy your Friday, Mr. Kemble. All righty.
Let's show this one more time, and then we're out of here.
Just for the moral sake, so everybody knows. Because Jake Chipper, Chase Sr., Allie Barefoot, Tyler Smith, they told us we couldn't beat them. They said we couldn't do it. They said Knicks Now had jumped the shark. They said 2023 was Knicks Now year, not 2024. And we just had to let them know what was up. Kenya, my Uber is right here. You can't see that. It's my feet. I walk to work. That's a run. I walk to work. I'm walking through the city, looking at the skyscrapers, downtown Dallas.
How do you think it gets that golden glow? It's that Texas.
Am I officially past the sunburn phase and I'm tan, or am I still red?
100%.
I am honestly surprised my face never peeled. I did use more lotion on my face than I did at 13 years old, but
it almost did.
It did. Nose started to peel a little bit.
Wild statement right there. Wild statement.
It's Friday.
I love it.
Lord Buddy Bear says, is my math correct? We beat them both combined. Oh, math right now is hard. So that would be...
Wait, hold on. We have another one.
188 plus 123 is what?
We did just get another one from Brian Fitzgerald.
We did! We beat both of them combined. We beat both them combined. I don't think anyone caught what I said right there. I don't think they caught what I said.
What, the sunburn?
The lotion, yeah. Oh, my God.
Brian Fitzgerald, right on time, brother.
He says 2 more to beat Celtics and Sixers combined. Bryant.
Timing on that one.
Right on time. Literally. Perfect timing. He's trolling us, Jason B. He is. It's fun, though. It's fun to laugh at the trolls. Oh.
Look at that.
That looks good.
That looks great.
That looks good, man. All is back and well. All is back and well.
You go like this, you go, Yep.
Oh, man.
All right.
All righty.
You guys ready to get the weekend started? I am.
I am ready to be off the
Marshall
next
is.
2 days. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. There is a reason that this is the #1 NBA channel at Chat Sports. There's a reason that this continues to be the fastest growing channel at Chat Sports. And it's because the diehard people that consistently tune in, the people that show love to this channel, the people that support this channel. As long as y'all bring the heat, I'm going to bring the heat. Videos every day, informative, entertaining content. And I've got a lot of pride in this channel. So when people come in this chat and talk noise, I feel like as a family, we got to stand up and defend it. I'm always going to defend this channel because the people, the supporters, and the subscribers in the community are what I'm most proud of. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to the NBA season being here. Enjoy your weekends. Be safe. And remember your blessings. Say thank you tonight for not being a Brooklyn Nets fan.
Shout out Knicks fan 13.
We outie.